Good morning, guys. So it's like 7 something in the morning, and I've been up for a while. And so I told you guys we're on a social media break. I don't want to call it a fast because we all know that a biblical definition of a fast is to go without food for a long period of time. But I am doing 90 days off social media, so I'll be back on social media in September. What I have learned, I would say so far, and I probably should have got my tripod to make this video, is that social media can be a god for many people, including myself at one point. I remember going to click on Instagram a couple years ago, and what had dropped in my spirit was social media is the modern day golden calf. And ever since then, it wasn't like the Lord was telling me to leave social media at that time. He was just making me aware of what social media can do to people of God, just people in general, by what we overconsume, what we choose over God. And sometimes we don't understand or even realize that we have made social media a God. Like the first thing we pick up in the morning, the last thing that we're looking at night, like that, just how much we consume about other people's lives and things. And it's honestly, the more time I'm off social media, the more I realize that I'm already a calm person, but I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you just ate. Like, I don't know what the latest topics are. And I'm not really feeling FOMO, like feeling like I'm left out or anything. I'm feeling like a overwhelming sense of like gratitude and focus. And I feel like I've always been able to hear God, so that's not really like the issue, but it's like the sound is very clear. Like I can hear, like my soul is not louder than my spirit is what I'm really learning through this process. I don't know if I'm on day 4 or day 5. I'm not really counting the days. I just know the day that will be the 90 days. But this morning, even as like I exit Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Facebook, like those were the only means of social media that I was on. Now that I'm just on YouTube, I have to be aware of YouTube because you can get off all social media and then you're right on YouTube now. And YouTube offers like shorts. Now YouTube has Messenger. Like there's so many different things that are just turning into bigger social media platform. Like it's starting to be just the same as Facebook. Like you can send things. So I just have to be mindful of even YouTube because they do have shorts. So I try to make sure that I don't watch them. Very intentional about just picking one outside teaching a day. Because if you really think about it, like how much information we have access to outside of your local assembly. I think social media, when it came to like evangelism and spreading the gospel, was to bring people to Christ from abroad and those that didn't even have a way, like elderly, to come into the house of God. I never think that it was meant for people to watch your service, watch this service, watch that, because that word may not necessarily be for you. So I've been very mindful of like only picking one teaching, maybe a topic the Lord is really like having me on this week is like teaching other people, excuse me, teaching other people about the Holy Spirit. And so I've been like looking for different teachings about the Holy Spirit in addition to what I'm studying in my physical Bible and not the other way around. And when I'm picking that teaching is just one or two per day. Like that's my limit because I'll go teaching crazy and then it's just social media again. So I've learned that about myself in that my fingers still do have a scrolling habit. Like, it's just so we're so used to doing this or however you scroll, you have to find other things to do with your time. Like, not that we had any time anyway, but those sometimes you don't even know that you were doom scrolling until you were doom scrolling. So this morning I'm reading my Sunday school lesson and I'm reading Romans 1 and I'm just like, it's talking about like ignoring God's plain truth. So, just being more intentional about like slowing down. I don't have to have my headphones in all the time. If it's not music, just being intentional about going outside, making sure that I'm making real connections and partnershiping with people, and living a life of minding your own business. I don't know if people realize how peaceful it is when you don't know all the business, know all the latest renegade, TikTok trends, when you're just really trying to live life and do life with people. You have to be intentional about calling, intentional about texting, because some people will only connect with you offline. But if you still want to keep those connections and relationships, you have to make sure that even outside of social media, I'm gonna check on you. Even if I don't see you posting, I'm gonna connect with you. And sometimes you lose friends that way. You know that they were just surface levels, and sometimes you gain more connections and friendships that you never thought would develop when you get offline, and just be more intentional about slowing down and living your life and enjoying your family. I think social media gives us a different level of envy, jealousy, covetousness, like things that we were never supposed to experience at this magnitude or level. So it's just been a thing. I've been taking notes and just understanding that every day has been different. And I got a call, guys, so I'm going. All right, guys, until next time, these are my thoughts. Bye.